courtesy to Senator King. Members, there has been a rise in incidents across Texas of individuals obstructing peace officers, emergency medical personnel, and public officials from performing their duties. This behavior raises concerns about law enforcement safety and effectiveness. When an individual interferes, disrupts, or impedes a peace officer's work, it hinders an officer's ability to maintain order and respond to emergencies. It is crucial to address this issue to allow peace officers to safely serve their communities. In Tarrant County, an individual who has been arrested 8 times for obstructing peace officers responding to emergencies. This person captures these interactions on video, escalates their confrontation with law enforcement, and profits by sharing content online. SB 1208 seeks to deter this behavior by increasing the penalty for the offense of interference with a peace officer or a public official's public duties. It increases it to a state jail felony from its current status. That's it.
Senator Hinojosa, you have a question? Nope, I guess he doesn't. Well, all right. Well, the invited testimony is now open. The chair now calls Christopher Britt and Lauren Lawrence. Christopher Britt and Lauren Lawrence. Thank you all for being here, and we'll begin on my right. Captain, and if you state your name, who you represent, and you may proceed.
Well, thanks for having us to begin with. Christopher Brid, as you mentioned, I'm captain with the Fort Worth Police Department. Best for me to explain why exactly I'm here is I'll give you a little bit of history of how I sort of got involved in this. So before I promoted to captain, I was a lieutenant over a patrol division where we had one of these, they refer to themselves as First Amendment auditors. Basically what they do is they engage interactions with police to video record and get views on social media and things like that. So particularly in the area I was in, we're having an issue with a handful, but one in particular. So we had to develop training for officers over this. It became such a big issue that we had to put our whole department through it because this wasn't something we encountered on a regular basis, basically. They were so aggressive, creating such a dangerous situation that we had to inform our officers how to handle it. So we did that, got everybody through it, started to handle those cases better, and then fortunately our prosecutor was able to take on these cases, start putting them in front of juries, and he was doing a great job getting guilty convictions. Issue is, though, the punishment wasn't much on the back end of it. So we were seeing he would call me up, hey, got a guilty on it, it's been handled, thanks for your help with it. That night I'm getting calls told, well, he's back out doing the same thing. I mean, within just a day. So that's essentially kind of the bigger issue of what we're running into. So I could sit here and describe to you what they're doing. If you're open to it, we have a video that we can show you actually what's taking place as opposed to my general description.
We'll if you're satisfied with your testimony and the fact that you're here. But thank you for offering the video, and maybe you want to offer that into the record, if you would. And that way we will have it.
We can do that, Chairman.
Thank you.
So I think I'm good. If you have any questions, I'll do what I can for you.
Senator Hinojosa.
What is the punishment right now for doing that?
It's a Class B misdemeanor.
Okay. And I guess you don't think a Class A would deter someone from doing that, interfering with an officer?
So I would have to let them speak. I don't obviously prosecute these cases. I think we've bumped them up to a Class A. We've encountered the same issue, I believe. Isn't that correct?
Yes, Lauren Lawrence. I am here on behalf of Phil Sorrells, the elected district attorney from Tarrant County. We are also registered in favor of this bill. Senator Hinojosa, the problem that we're seeing, even if we bump it up to a Class A misdemeanor, is, and I can imagine this is happening in most counties, but every defendant in Tarrant County is getting 2-for-1 credit. And so what is 365 days, if you get a maximum punishment, is now automatically 6 months. And for folks in Tarrant County who are on their best behavior while they're incarcerated, they're getting 3-for-1 credit. So that is at the end of it, no deterrent at all for this behavior, especially when we see folks who are, as Captain Britt was mentioning, are getting an appeal bond and bonding out within hours of being convicted of this offense and proceeding right back to, going back out on the streets and purposefully finding investigations that they are not a part of and inserting themselves into those investigations and not only filming the officers, There's no problem with that. Officers are filming themselves, right? But they are interjecting into the investigation, yelling profanities, getting close to these officers, and drawing their attention away from what could be an incredibly dangerous situation.
So you distinguish between just filming and somebody actually being more aggressive and interfering with the duties and responsibilities of a police officer.
Absolutely, and those are the types of cases we're seeing. These are not folks who are standing outside of the investigation with their phone up, just recording these officers. They are seeking out these investigations when they find officers out on the street, just doing a random traffic stop. We've even got a video on here of officers attempting to execute a search warrant. They are approaching those officers, getting their attention, yelling profanities at them, and drawing their attention away from what it is that they are attempting to do, which is obviously a hazard for them, but it's also a safety hazard for the individuals that our officers are coming in contact with. So, because they also don't know who these folks are that are approaching the scene. So, yes, it is not just the filming. Again, we don't have any problem with that. You obviously have a First Amendment right to film officers. And like I said, they're filming themselves. But when you are intentionally inserting yourself into a situation and drawing attention away, it is a big safety problem.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Huffman, your light's on. You have a
Oh,
question?
I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And we'll get this submitted for the record.
Thank you. So seeing no other invited testimony, the invited testimony is now closed. The chair now opens up for public testimony. The chair calls up Kathy Mitchell and Julian Reyes and Kirsten Budwine. Kathy Mitchell, Julian Reyes, and Kirsten Budwine. We'll begin on my right. State your name, where you represent, your position on the bill. You have 2 minutes.
Hello, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Kirsten Budwine. I'm a policy attorney with the Texas Civil Rights Project here in opposition to SB 1208. SB 1208 increases the criminal penalty for the offense of interference with public duties from a Class B, which holds up to 180 days in jail, to a state jail felony, which holds up to 2 years in a state jail. Interfering with public duties is broadly defined as a person who interrupts, disrupts, impedes, or otherwise interferes with a peace officer while the peace officer is performing a duty. People who film the police or protest are often charged with this offense. Protesting and recording police officers are both protected speech under the First Amendment and should not be considered felonious conduct. It is unfortunate that we are increasing the criminal penalty for what is not only protected speech, but is also oftentimes nonviolent conduct that poses no threat to law enforcement. This will have a chilling effect on the rights that we all hold near and dear to us. People will be deterred from holding officers accountable and protesting in fear of being stamped as a felon for the rest of their life. Rather than punishing citizens for the nonviolent conduct, we should be encouraging this type of conduct. For these reasons, we are opposed to SB 1208.
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. Please proceed. Your name, who you represent, your position.
Hello, Chairman and members of the committee. My name is Julian Reyes. I'm a member of the Free Press, and I'm in opposition to SB 1208. I'm concerned with this bill's purpose of enhancing the criminal penalty from a Class B misdemeanor to a state jail felony. I question why this is necessary. Being charged with a Class B misdemeanor holds up to 180 days in jail and a substantial fine. Being arrested for any offense ruins lives. It's basically state-sponsored kidnapping for the First Amendment. This has been used as and abused by law enforcement officials to discourage the transparency and hide their abusive conduct. This bill would, as the Supreme Court has said, this bill would encourage police overreach of the people's First Amendment protections. It would have a further chilling effect on press recording, audio, and video, and free speech. It would also cause a multitude of citizen harm, police corruption, protectionism, and erosion of civil rights. I've been falsely arrested multiple times for interference with public duties as a member of the press, and every time I've won my case in the interest it was shown that the LEOs used this offense to retaliate against me Police retaliation is police abuse. Police abuse is supposed to be a crime. We shouldn't be legalizing it. Each time my case has been dismissed by the prosecutor's office in the interest of justice, which was written, I have been threatened by poorly trained LEOs more times than I can recall. Filming the police, which is protected speech and press, should never be criminalized, yet there is no clear message in the code to police, in this code, the statute, to the police about those protections. For these reasons and other reasons, I oppose SB 1208. Any questions?
Thank you. Thank you for your testimony. No questions, and thank you both for being here today, for your testimony. I'm going to call her one more time. So the chair calls Kathy Mitchell. Kathy Mitchell. So she's not here, so we will move on. There's no one else registered for public testimony. Is there anyone here present who wishes to testify on, for, or against Senate Bill? Have you? Yes. If you have a card, have you registered? Make sure and fill. We're gonna make sure and fill out a card. Well, fill out a card. You can come forward and state your name, who you represent, and your position on the bill. You got 2 minutes.
My name's Brianna Arredondo, and I represent myself. I oppose this bill because it's our constitutional right to film. Why do we have a phone? Why do we have constitutional rights if we can't exercise our right to film the police? You know, there's, like, I film the police all the time with my friend, and not only my friend, with the community, but me and my friend, we always film the police. And they have cameras. Oh, they got cameras. They're threatened by our cameras. We should be threatened by their cameras, you know, because by their weapons and their armor that they got. Why are they so threatened by a camera from the public? Why are they so threatened? Because they don't want the transparency out. They don't want the accountability to be shown about what they're doing, all the unjust that they're doing. You know, we as a community, we see. And they manipulate the media. They push their narrative. Oh, they have a weapon. Oh, there's a weapon involved. Oh, where's the weapon? The video doesn't show the weapon. There's no weapon. They're lying. They lie to the media. They lie to the news. The news are lying. They're in favor of the police departments. The corruption. They don't want their corruption exposed. That's why they try to silence people. That's why they try to scare people. We have every right, the people of this country have every right to film law enforcement on their duties.
Thank
I
you.
oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you for your testimony. Any questions, members? Is there anyone else here wishes to testify on, for, or against Senate Bill 1208? Hearing none, public testimony is closed, and we'll leave the bill pending.